account executive who's been working on the Novartis Keep It Pumping campaign for the last year and a half. So the campaign is a digital-led campaign for the MENA region that's based on engaging with people with heart failure or their carers and raising awareness for the public on how to take better care of their hearts. So for the key objectives for both us and the client was to make a real social impact in the region. People develop heart failure here 10 years earlier than in the West, in England, America, and they don't really know much about what heart failure is or how to take care of themselves. So for us it was building a supportive campaign for people with heart failure and their carers who can feel quite isolated, as well as highlighting how you can prevent your heart from getting heart failure and how to identify the symptoms. So as it's a digital campaign, we focused on analytics online. So the campaign is on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, as well as a microsite that we developed. So for us, the campaign wasn't just about getting a large number of people, but also getting the right people, so the patients and the carers. So we looked at who our audience was, what they needed, and as well as likes, comments, any engagement. And we also developed a disruptive video campaign, which is when it was staged in a public bathroom where the members of the public would go into the bathroom, and as they were washing their hands, statistics about heart failure came up on the screen. So we got 2.5 million views on that. So stuff like that is how we really understood what content was working and the type of people that were engaged. I think the biggest challenge in the region generally is to get people from a digital campaign to make real action. So we actually had, alongside the disruptive video, we also had a symptoms checker on the website. So that means that you go on and you can actively check the scale of symptoms that you have, and to hopefully in the end, if you have enough symptoms, you would go to the doctor. So the biggest challenge was really getting people to use that. So that's why we used the disruptive video to create a sense of urgency and just generally engaging with people with content that they really needed. So that means looking at the gaps in their knowledge or education, such as differentiating between heart failure and heart attacks, and then creating content specifically around that. So for us, a key highlight is making sure that we have a really supportive community. So we now have 43,000 members of this community of the public, patients and carers, where they often share their personal stories or any advice they need. And not only do we provide the best advice we can, but also they've started providing advice for each other. So for us, that's a key highlight, to see that we're making a real impact rather than just posting the content. We've also had really good engagement on our videos, our content. We've had a lot of use of the symptoms tracker. Over 500 people used it after this disruptive video. So we'd like to think that our biggest highlight is that there's a real impact in people's lives and all across the region. I think ultimately it's successful because people need this information, and they might feel too silly or they think it's a stupid question, they won't go to their doctor. So sometimes just sounding out what's serious enough to go to a doctor and what's not online is a bit better. We obviously don't give any medical advice, but if we can give advice such as foods to eat or foods to stay away from, that is really important to the community that we've built. Yeah, and I think it's just that support that people need. For patients and carers, it can be quite isolating. So it's for us, that's the biggest gap that we saw. And obviously because the campaign goes beyond the UAE, it goes into Egypt, Saudi and Lebanon, where sometimes the healthcare isn't as developed as in the UAE. So we've seen a lot of people from certain areas that don't have access to healthcare. So for them, this has been a real saving grace.